Yeah, any of that
Most
nonsense.
of the
But
time, except when it's really cold, then jail ain't so bad. But yeah,
yeah,
I don't know. We think about that too. I go out and wake up in the morning, walk around. I go, man, I could be in like some project in the inner
and stuff, you don't know people or they kind of give you a weird, it's completely different than how it's ever been, and it is the weirdest feeling ever. You're like,
Yeah.
I'm just gonna stay where I am at and never come back in unless I absolutely have to.
well, I know, and I thought the same thing out here where we're at a couple of years ago, but now there's just more and more people coming over the hill, and just like, man, is there anywhere you can go where people just leave you the fuck alone? Like, just let me be, just let me be.
I think that equates to a necessities pack of 1 year supply of food and ammunition.
You just yeah. Someplace on the globe where it's really windy, cold, really hot, really dry. Just someplace that's really miserable.
Very miserable.
I know. Well,
I think that's Utah, isn't it?
It's pretty much.
Actually, all the good places are really cold and pretty miserable.
Yeah, I know. It's crazy how the resettlement has happened after the COVID. Like, like Texas is getting overrun, which kind of funny. I always kind of like to give Texans shit, so it's kind of funny to hear them squawk every now and then. But still, we all feel their pain. We've been going through it for a while.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy, but I don't know what's good going on in your world up there. I guess before we get into that, there's a big announcement we got to make. Seeing how we got the Wampus Wilsons back on the show, Elko's happening again.
Woo!
Yep.
Yes, sir.
The Elko is happening again.
It happened last year. You others just weren't there. We were.
That's right. Yeah. I don't know. They canceled the gathering again, but who gives a shit? Burning Daylight's going to be there.
More cheap motel rooms for us.
Right on.
That's right.
More room
That's right.
For us. My fortune for us.
My dad requested that we invite Magic Mike back on, though. Like he's not sure he's going to do the show unless Magic Mike's back.
Yeah, Magic Mike. I don't know if he's got enough money to idle that diesel all weekend this time, though. They were parked in front of the Stockman.
Tyler, you have to. We'll have to let. We'll tag team this story, Wilson.
Okay, we'll do our best. He caught Yeah.
Mike. I don't know what his last name was. I don't know if we ever caught the last name, but
Sounds like you didn't
Like,
need
no.
to get the last name for it.
no, you
He
don't.
didn't need the last.
You catch a lot of other stuff from Mike. You don't need the last name.
Yeah.
So,
I think his first name Mike's his last name, I think.
either way,
Like
either
Magic.
way,
Yeah.
Magic Mike's all you need. So
Yeah.
we show up in Elko. So is me and my wife and Sam McHugh. He's a musician up in Coeur d'Alene, and my dad and his buddy had drove from southeast Colorado over to Elko, and they kind of came up through your country, Tyler. And he met us down in the lobby, him and Ron, his buddy. And we check in, and there's this guy. It's not really a Tim McGraw hat. It was more of a Toby Keith hat in
Yeah.
Tim McGraw colors. So it was like a black straw hat, crumpled all to shit. And
Yeah. I was trying to think of that old guy a long time ago used to wear like the ruby suits too. That was kind of
little Jimmy Dickens.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
He's-
Mike was a little bigger than little Jimmy though.
Yeah.
Mike uses a tanning booth for sure. Religiously.
Yeah, he was. So it was, into January. It was. I wouldn't say it was brutal cold in Elko by any means, but it was winter. It was cold enough, and here we are. He's got his little screwed up hat with a do-rag underneath. Or it wasn't really a do-rag. It was a bandana, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I forgot the bandana.
Yeah.
That completed the. It was like the dude with his rug.
Yeah,
You know.
and then he had a cut off shirt, and he is just like holding court in front of my dad and Ron, and my dad, being the constant troll that he is, like, hey, I need you to meet somebody over here, and he just passes Ron on to us. He's like, good to see you. We're going up to the room. He finishes his drink and leaves. And this guy, apparently he was a hotshot trucker, and he was driving a single cab Dodge Dually, but it had the Peterbilt lugs on it, like the big spike lugs on it.
That's right. I forgot about that too.
Yeah.
Parked in front of the fifth wheel trailer with some couple little like big 4-wheeler Ranger things on the back.
Something like that. Yeah. He was like he was shuffling Rangers from dealership to dealership or something. And his
like top secret run or something like that.
Yeah, and like he was having truck problems. I think his transmission was going out or something. And he was stuck in Elko during cowboy poetry when there was no cowboy poetry.
Did not get the memo.
Yeah.
Nope, he didn't get it. And he got invited to the show. When was the first time you guys ran into Magic Mike?
Downstairs.
Yeah, downstairs.
Oh, yeah.
This
This is all at the Stockman.
I sidestepped that fellow. I've met his kind before. I don't have enough time in my ears for his kind anymore. It's called menopause.
He'll tell you the story of his life, that's for sure.
Oh, man.
That guy's in dire need of a nut punching, and I'm just the gal to do it. You come anywhere near me this
We
next
get
year.
little Jimmy Dickens to whack him in the little Jimmy.
One for each thumb there, Magic Mike. If he pulls what he did on stage last year, that's what he's gonna get.
That was.
Oh, man. Yeah, so then he was just, because of his pickup problems, he was just around the whole weekend, and we got there Thursday night. You guys pulled in Friday, and he was still there Sunday when we left. His rig was still idling in front of the Stockman.
Still broke down.
But we finished up the show Saturday night, and then we just had like jam session open mic afterwards. And who's the first one on the mic? Magic Mike.
Yeah.
Sounds like he moved right in with you guys.
Oh man, it was a 5-minute one-man show, and it was glorious. it was glorious.
No. Oh, it's so bad.
He went from starting off a little serious, and then he tried to cut a couple jokes that didn't really land. And then he went into singing "Simple Man" a cappella. Yeah, and then he was going back to more of his life story, and then Sam and the Wilsons burst on the stage and grabbed all the mics and started playing, and it was might have been the best moment of the weekend.
I told him, "You're done," and he said, "No, I'm not." And I said, "Yes, you are." Took the microphone out of his hand. I don't think I'd ever been that rude to any single person in my life. Short of you, perhaps.
I was going to say.
Pretty good being rude to you. But that's bought and paid for, so.
That's what I tell people. I said, you can't treat me this bad. I can go home and get treated this bad.
So
sounds like you guys need to re-invite this guy here to the next one.
Oh man.
Hour.
we might, maybe we'll let him open. We'll let Mike do like a solid 10 minutes before we start the show. Just warm everybody right up.
Yeah.
You know what we do is we put special cards on each of the tables and say open 5 minutes into the show, and then give them the location of where we're actually going to be at.
Yeah.
See,
there you go.
So
there we go.
That right there is innovation.
It's a scavenger hunt.
Oh my goodness.
Huh?
What's
that?
I was wondering about Tyler. Are you headed for Elko this year? You gonna come watch the show, or you booked a night cabin?
Well, there we go. Okay. Actually, that's weird because me and my friend Jamie Bruce were actually talking about that. Oh gosh, maybe like a couple nights ago. We're like, we need to get out of here. We need to go find something to do. And so we had wondered about heading that way for anything. We're like, we just need to get the heck out of everywhere. And so we're like, well, I guess we'll figure probably going there for something to do.
There you go.
So
January 28th and 29th, we're doing shows.
Perfect.
Sounds good.
Yeah, I'm like, she's not too far from there. I'm not too far. We both
Perfect.
like to drive, so hey.
There you go. I like it. We should have a good lineup again. Actually, Jake just texted me. Jake's.
He got some. Hey, Sam too. Good stuff. Wow.
Yes, Sam's gonna be there. He's already got a hotel room booked. And
good. We'll sleep with him.
Yeah. And as far as I know, last time I talked to my dad, he's gonna make the trip out. Him and Ron again. And there's a guy out of Oklahoma that plays and sings pretty good, mostly covers and stuff. But he said he might have some of his own stuff. So I think he's gonna try to make it, hopefully. And yeah, it'll just be kind of like last year. I'm gonna try to do a little more MCing, but yeah, I like that guitar pool type setup though, and do some poetry, do some comedy, just make it a good show. I thought we had a great show last year, and it'll be better this year even.
Maybe Conway Shitty can write a song about Magic Mike.
Yeah. I think that has to happen.
Tyler.
She's gone.
Lost her.
Oh no.
Didn't bail on us.
Tyler.
Damn. The Mormons were listening in on it. They vetoed it.
They vetoed it. These people are rude. Not going to put up with crass rudeness.
Well, they can get over it. What's good up in Oregon? You guys have been putting out some pretty cool stuff, it looked like.
Yeah, I've been building some bits and peddling a few around, and got some side deals I'm working on for myself and another fella. They ought to be pretty cool. They come
Nice.
out. I got to get back to Jess. I was talking to him, working on some things. But yeah, just been building some bits and waiting for it to snow. So
yeah,
taking the hound dogs out a little bit. So that's
awesome.
Yeah. So
hell yeah.
Trying to buy hay and gas, but you know, that's
she's back. She's back.
Oh,
Tyler,
Tyler,
gosh. My goodness. I don't know what happened there, but apparently my iPad decided to leave, I guess.
Yeah, it happens. It happens.
Yeah, what else is going on? Good?
Internet connection. This is bad in these rural areas.
Actually, all around.
You know, if it weren't for the internet, we wouldn't be able to do this. But also, if it weren't for the internet, life might be a little bit simpler.
That'd be sure. I tell folks if I had a chainsaw that worked like my cell phone does, I'd throw it in the ditch and never come back for it. You know, yeah, these things don't work for yeah. They work all right, but you know, we start depending on them and then they just give out on you. So it's good to have backup plans, that's for sure.
Smoke signals.
Yeah.
My backup
Smoke
plan.
signals are always good. Unless they pertain to like a gender reveal party and then you burn down the state of California, you know.
Yeah, I don't know how many smoke colors there are now. So.
Right, there may not be enough smoke pronouns for us to actually achieve this.
You know. Oh, by the way, I don't know if you guys have heard, but I'm asking that everybody refer to me as Latinx now. You know.
Yes.
That's like a weight. That's like a weight lifted off my heart.
Yeah.
That person has not call you.
I'm exactly one half Mexican, and I'm gonna use every bit of it to my advantage. So please call me Latinx.
Him Latinx. Him.
Yeah. I think it's supposed to be Latinx, but I like Latinx better.
That almost looks like it's probably Modelo.
Oh God!
Is that Modelo?
Oh.
Yeah, I'm going full Latinx tonight.
Stick with your heritage there, bro. Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Latinx drool. Here we go.
So I was there. We go. It's might as well be Cinco de Mayo up in here. I was listening to this audio book on Area 51 the other day, and I was listening to it a little bit today. And did you know they did like 600 and some nuclear bomb tests there by Area 51 in southern Nevada?
That's freaking crazy.
I think they did a bunch. You know,
like 600 and something. Like, it's a wonder they didn't shear California off into the ocean back in the 50s, you know?
And how come this is not a global warming factor that we have explosives that could take down all of LA that we've lit off how many times into the atmosphere? Not a factor, though.
I like the glow-in-the-dark jackrabbits.
They're real easy to shoot. I mean, well... The bullets kind of bounce off them after a while, but that's you learn to live with the radiation. It's okay.
There you go.
So what groovy things are happening in Utah?
Well, okay, so the Ensign Ranch that works out, Skull Valley area, they've got like all these big different like army things out there. So you could be out there riding, checking pens and stuff, and like there'd just be planes or helicopters flying over you. All of a sudden you'd like hear something go off, or I guess if you came across, I never came across anything myself, but like if you came across something foreign or weird out on like the desert and stuff, you're supposed to just like ride around it. You couldn't mess with it else. You were gonna have a whole bunch of angry people after you.
No kidding. So just walk away as if it doesn't exist.
Any UFO sightings?
I haven't, but people swear that like, yeah, we've had all sorts of weird things happen out there. They say that there's stuff underground, stuff flying up above us. Yeah, it's weird. I'm like, well, I'm glad I didn't come across something because I don't know if I would have snooped or not.
I would have definitely snooped. No one could have stopped me from snooping.
So this is the perfect story to go along with this. So I was reading this book, and through various different ways, the U.S. military came in possession of a bunch of Russian MiG fighter jets, and they were at Area 51. But they also had a underground nuclear reactor at a place called Jackass Flats that nobody knew about. That nuclear reactor that melted down, by the way. They also were working on the I think it was like a stealth fighter or something that nobody knew about. And then there was something else. There was like 5 different like top secret programs that nobody knew about. And this general decided he wanted to go fly a MiG jet. So he went up in a MiG-23, which they said went almost Mach 3. And it was like the most sophisticated Russian jet at the time. And it was like really like pretty incredible aircraft, but also highly unstable. Like, so if you weren't really trained in it, you could crash it real quick. And this general lost control at Mach 2.5 and crashed, died. Like he ejected, but his
died.
Yeah,
he died.
Yeah, it was like a 3-star general.
My God.
He ejected, but the strap on his helmet broke his neck or something like that. And so there was like, and because it was a military guy and a general nonetheless, like they couldn't just cover it up because there had been plenty of CIA pilots that had crashed and died, and they're able to just kind of like, just, you know, don't worry about that. But this, but this general, they actually had to do some explaining. And so, but there was like 5 different, because it crash landed at the nuclear reactor that melted down. So they had like 5 different classified programs that they were about to get exposed because one general decided to go joyride in a MiG.
That's privilege right there.
Yeah.
It's my privilege to die today in a really expensive piece of U.S. equipment.
Yeah, it might start World War III, just the fact that we have it, but, you know, whatever. Whatevs.
Like going down in history for my death today, you know?
Yeah,
like,
just take it for a spin. Take it for a spin.
Right.
Well, we have these things that show up. I haven't seen them in a while. Have you, though?
Oh, yeah. Well, and I can comment more on this.
Anyways, they come out at night and they were east of Summer Lake. They were like,
call them the Summer Lake lights.
Yeah, and you'd always see them like there's Christmas Valley and Paisley and Silver Lake, and then these lights were out that way towards the east. And they were like these orange kind of little lights, kind of yellowish orange, and they show up and they'd be like, whoop, and they'd be like sitting there, and then they go like that, and then there'd be like 3 of them together in a triangle, and they move. And I mean, yeah, it was some excellent acid, but no, I'm kidding. This shit's really, we saw this shit though. And you know, we have them fighter jets coming out here. I got a story on them. It's really fun. But those fighter jets fly around, you can hear them. They're like, there's never any sound when you see these things. They're just out there. And they'll move around and they'll go like a long ways on the horizon too. And then they'll kind of zip off sometimes. And it's
pretty
weird. I don't know. We really don't know what they are. Folks try to say, "Oh, they're Army jets, and they're the burst of the F-16s going away and shit." It's like, no, they don't go. F-16s going away don't go sideways. And
Yeah.
Biden's in on all the UFO action though, so I'm waiting.
yeah, I actually haven't really seen them myself. They're weird. I don't know what they are.
Lizard people.
I'm a big believer in the lizard people. Also, let me run this by you guys because I know you guys are well versed in the Sasquatch. I wonder, have you ever wondered if what would happen if the aliens had abducted the Sasquatch instead of a human?
They already did, bro.
The aliens are Sasquatch.
This is what I'm saying. We're dealing with an advanced civilization of Sasquatch, and that is like the Illuminati exists, but they are Sasquatch.
Right?
Yeah. I've never heard this theory, but I like this theory. I think I would follow along with this theory.
Okay, so
he is their genetic plant on Earth to see if we'll cross-populate.
I'll try like that.
Just like also an alternative species that's been put here and cannot be chromosomally connected, genetically connected to any other person on the planet.
I'm so glad I brought this up. Because there was another guy that he suggested that the fact that we only see grainy footage of them and we only see like 2 steps at a time, and they probably have cloaking mechanisms and it's shortened out.
Yeah,
it's true. That's why. They can like warp from one place to the next.
I think Anthony Fauci is a science squatch.
That guy's a mean
hear me out. Hear me out.
You don't like dogs.
They, at one point in the Wuhan province of China, they were on the search for an ape man.
The Yeti.
Mm-hmm. That ended in the 80s. They ended that search, which happens to be when the Wuhan Institute of Virology made their biggest leaps in research on studying virology.
Okay.
That's no coincidence.
Fill me in. No what way. Is virology? I'm not familiar with this.
Virology, the study of viruses.
Viruses.
Oh.
I thought it was a study of viral TikToks, but that's
it's about the same thing.
That's also an advanced degree of study.
Yeah. But if it's actually Sasquatch who's kind of sick and he's doing TikTok, it's like a total.
Yeah, can you imagine the virality of that one?
Did Matt warn you, Tyler, that this is the weirdest podcast you will ever be a part of?
Hey, I am digging this. I'm learning all sorts of stuff and realizing that I haven't quite thought everything through. So I'm like, hey, that does sound. That does make sense. That's why everything's lining out.
We're always thinking about ridiculous T-shirts, and we came up with a Squatch one the other day. Take the Squatch and shove it, or something. What the hell did we come up with? Anyway.
Oh, somebody in the chat here just said he said Mormons and Science Squatch are in cahoots, and so, which is a great point because I had this thought the other day. What if it was a science squatch that showed Joseph Smith the golden tablets?
It makes so much sense.
That explains why the glasses were so big.
Maybe okay, disclaimer here. I was a nearly converted Mormon. I ever since high school I have had a ton of friends. I love them. Your great grandpa was Mormon, so
that's right. He ran off to Salt Lake City. He built some single-handedly,
right? He was probably some mega elder in Salt Lake, but all jokes aside, it's all.
It is a comedy show. It is a comedy show.
Okay, so that being said, though, since we know that Squatch has interrelations with the science upstairs, and he can teleport from one point to another, he can actually go. He can bend time, get the glasses, show them to Joseph Smith. Boom, he's out of there.
Where do the multiple wives come in?
He has to because the Squatch.
Well, I think
beast.
The Squatch has to reproduce, so he's got to do it like mega deuce.
We did have a conversation. Ready for the sickness of this? We had a conversation the other day about.
Well, I was gonna say, speaking of mega deuce, did you hear that Joe Biden shit himself in front of the Pope?
Beautiful segue, man.
I don't think you can point that out enough. I really don't.
I swear to God, it's senior abuse. That like
it is. It's sad, but also
it's funny as hell. It's like
I'm a big fan of shitting your pants in front of the Pope. I'm just a big fan of that.
Guinness World Book of Records, the first man alive to shit himself in the presence of the Pope. He should get.
I don't think that's Joe Biden. I think there's plenty of people that have shit themselves in front of the Pope.
But it's not on record. Okay, public.
No, okay, you're right. You're right. On record. Right.
That is the one award that he's officially earned, and the American people should actually give him.
He's earned another one though. He also ripped ass in front of the Duchess of Cornwall, which I'm also a big fan of.
Is that Fergie? Duchess of Cornwall?
It's she's the Duchess of Corned Beef, I think. No, she's like Prince Charles's wife or some shit. Like, who cares? It's British royal family is the only thing that matters, and fuck the British royal family. So anybody that rips ass in front of them, I'm also a big fan of. I mean, like, this Biden guy's really moving up the list.
He's just on a roll these days, it sounds like.
Yeah, you know,
I hope to be knighted by the Queen someday. So I'm not talking shit about
okay.
Not shit. I'm getting knighted. Wait and see. I'm the first woman fucking knighted by the Queen.
Talking shit. I think that when you get older, there are two ways to go. You can be embarrassed that you fart and shit yourself, or you just roll with it.
Just roll with it.
And I think Joe's he's just rolling.
Think about it, though.
Come on, man.
Go. You tell us, Tyler. What's on your mind? You tell us first.
What's on my mind?
What's on your mind about this? You go.
Well, I mean, I'm not that big of a fan of Biden, and my brothers. Oh gosh, we had family pictures on Sunday, and they both show up in their "Let's Go Brandon" t-shirts with their guns in their hands. So
nice.
I mean, I don't know how much more American you can get than family pictures in your "Let's Go Brandon" tees. So,
well,
anything that can make.
I'm gonna play devil's advocate here. I think farting in front of the royal family is more American than Let's Go Biden or Let's Go Brandon shirt.
Ooh, damn,
I'm no fan.
That's really a good point.
1 point for Biden. 1 point.
Yeah.
Only one.
Well, and plus you add the two, literally and figuratively, for the Pope.
Biden ain't afraid to break ass in front of
Farts are fun. Farts make
always funny.
Hated man on the American continent. Everybody's laughing about that. So you give him one for mass joy.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That,
I
just credit where credit's due. Credit where credit is due. Farting in front of the Duchess of Cornwall might be one of the most American things ever.
And not having any shame about it either. Just like
apparently he didn't even stop the conversation. I mean, he just kept on charging ahead. America.
That is pretty honorable. I mean, if you're just gonna keep on going and not even pretend it happened, that right there, that could be honorable.
So
and seeing this is when Biden is at his best.
That is, I will give him that because
I can't stand it.
My brother and I worked for this fellow when we were pretty young. We were like, 13, 14, 12, I don't know. And he was a pretty cool fellow. His name was Chet Harmon. He was pretty rugged, kind of John Wayne type. And so he'd sit there and he'd lean back against the hood of this red Chevy pickup and he'd start going, "Come over here." And then he'd just rip ass in the middle of you boys. And he's talking away, telling us what to do. And he said,
"Feels better."
Oh my God. So we're here sitting there 13, 14, 12. Go, you don't dare laugh. Slap you in the head.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Now I find myself doing it. It's pretty fun because them kids are missing it.
Okay. When we were first married, we had a no poopum rule. I got this from my friend Alan. Alan, can't remember his last name. No poopum rule. That meant that there are rules in the relationship. We will not fart in front of each other. We will not poop.
I've always farted.
That broke that one right away.
Your bucket had a drank beer the whole night before.
I've got another story about that. That's a good.
Sometimes you can't hold that. If you're gonna make a good bronc ride, you're just gonna let that rip.
This fella, I won't say his name, but we got drunk and shit the night before, all of us, and we all went back to our jobs and whatever. And we heard he climbed on a snuffy colt the next day, and he actually spread shit on the back of his hat, the bottom of his brim, because he's like, Colt went to farting around, he went to farting around, and every time he'd hit, it would shoot it out of the back.
Get out of here.
I wasn't there, but everybody swears this is a true story.
You did check yourself trying to piss up in the pissing contest,
But I
though.
won the contest.
He won the contest. It was worth it.
It's not easy to piss onto the top of the hood of a pickup truck. Just try it.
Right.
Play for keeps, though.
Like 6'6" Indian guy.
He probably had a foot height average over me. I knocked that foot average down, and as soon as I whipped it out, it was like half of that went away at least.
The Irish, take this.
Ayo!
I did. I leaned into it, and I'm like, and it was, "Did you want?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'll be right back." But I'm a winner.
Okay, so there's probably a good chance, Tyler. I'm going to give you the best. I have a whole hell of a lot of Irish, and I love to play dirty, nasty jokes. So since we're on the subject of shitting, once you have children,
this is beautiful.
This is the best thing that this is pure gold for your artillery when it comes to dealing.
We had a lot of trading parties at the house. Yeah.
Cowboys that puke down your couch. Cowboys you wake up in the next morning and they're buck ass naked on your couch. Cowboys that leave chew cans or cans of beer with chew in them, and your little kids go around and drink the tops off the beer and the chew and are sick for the rest of the day. Cowboys. This is how you get them back. Once you start feeding your babies food, save the rancid diapers. There are 2 places you can put these diapers that will come back to haunt all cowboys for months, and they will never know where you've stuffed these diapers. Number 1, in the far corner of a bedroll at the bottom of the sleeping bag.
That's dirty.
I did it. The second one is up under the springs of the pickup seat toward the front. They'll reach up under that seat forever and never find that diaper. And every time, Peter.
That is.
That's rank.
That is horrible, but the greatest thing I've ever heard.
That is rank.
Thank the babies for their gifts.
He almost sold the truck. Like, this freaking thing stinks. Like, he just figured out, he's like, this son of a stinks, so I don't know what I run over.
Miles, years of laughs off that one.
Oh, that's awful.
I will keep that one in mind because that is the greatest thing I have ever heard in the history.
Well,
one time
chalk one up for the guys. I'll tell you about this one, and it popped into my head because I think it was like 3 years ago. My wife left her phone at home. She went to school without it, so I grabbed her phone and I set a reminder every time she pulls in the driveway, make Matt a sandwich. is amazing.
That's pretty good.
And I just so happened to notice that because the kids were playing on the iPad the other day, and Ro doesn't have she has a Galaxy phone now, so it doesn't show up on her reminders on her phone, but it still shows up on the iPad. And she's getting ready to switch back over to iPhone, so every day when she comes home from school, make Matt a sandwich, and it's gonna be awesome.
Oh, that's pretty good. Pretty good.
Chris Friel says you need to be put on a watch list, Rachel, for the poopy diapers in a bedroll.
Oh man!
Oh, I know.
Yes, I've got more where that comes from. I'll tell you one point.
Oh, we almost got the mayonnaise and the panties. We did
no, not the mayonnaise and the panties, but we did.
That
oh
was
wow!
Nasty joke.
That was a nasty joke.
Nearly got a fella killed.
Fired and killed.
Yeah.
And thrown into an unmarked grave. Hey, if you're gonna play a prank, take it as far as you can. As far as you can. But
Commit fully.
I felt
well,
bad.
if you're gonna put all the work into a prank, you might as well full on do it to the very best ability that you can.
That's
right. You go, girl.
This kid had run down to town, and we were way up at Cow Camp, and he'd run down to town, and he was gone. So we took a pair of undergarments and some sandwich
spread.
Oh wow!
Really bad in his bedroll. We had no idea he was bringing his girlfriend home with him.
No.
Yeah, we thought he'd just get. We thought we'd get him. We'd be like, "What the fuck?" Well, his girlfriend was kind of like, "What the fuck?" Yeah, that was it. I almost felt bad about that one.
They did break up consequently.
Yeah.
I do feel bad.
Did him a favor. It would never work out.
Would have never worked. She had a twin and she didn't tell anybody. Evil twin too. Like I'd say hi to her and she'd be like,
things
"Who
that
the hell
go
are
through my
you?"
head are just evil. I'm like, oh,
okay. Here's one for your artillery. If you get sick of your man's drinking, eventually he is going to pass out on the couch. At which point in time you sew him to the couch cushions. And he will not be able to get up and take a piss. He'll have to piss himself right there.
This is all theory because you've never showed me.
Then he stopped drinking.
Yeah, just long enough to go get another one.
It'll happen.
I didn't first.
Then after you get him sewn to the couch, you give him a good slap.
So did you know that you can burn a fella's socks? Like you can pull like the toe of his socks up and light it on fire, and it'll burn down to the skin and not burn him, and it'll just go out. And no. I can tell you this, it's true. I've witnessed it. We burnt the guy's sock, and this was like a crew sock from the toe, and all that was left was the little elastic band. That was all. And we just kept pulling it up a little bit more, burn it down to his foot, pull it back out, and yeah, all he had, and we pulled it. The elastic band back up to where it was supposed to be. So that's all he had on his leg was the elastic band. Looked like a garter around his calf.
And he was passed out, right?
Yeah.
He passed out, right? So he wakes up.
Oh, yeah.
What the hell happened to my socks?
Well, and I just wonder how many times he reached down and like tried to pull his socks up in the night, you know?
This is how close you were to spontaneously combusting, guy.
Yeah, I didn't believe it. And then, a bunch of my college buddies showed me, and I was like, huh, well, I'll be damned. It works.
Try it. Put it up here.
I'm game. That's why.
Try it out. Those are your
let's do...
Will these kind of socks work?
I think so.
Cotton socks?
I don't know. These were just like, I don't know, regular old socks.
You got to do the toe to toe.
I can't even get my socks. Like I've worn these for a week, straight, and they've got like a patina to them.
Oh yeah, nice little crust.
It actually smells like
Burning hair.
Smells like Brandon a scoured cat. Okay, that didn't work.
Pew.
I used to wonder what would happen to the top of my socks.
Where the hell were the bottoms of his shirts and the tops of his socks?
I never.
Yeah.
The shirts, I didn't.
Yeah.
I like my shirts.
You did the shirts.
No, socks.
Yes. And the shirts.
I think we've had this conversation before.
We might have.
Yeah.
We need new material. Tyler, it's your turn. Go.
My
You get three wipes out of one of them white cotton gloves. Front, back, inside.
This is true.
After that, you're getting your hand dirty. I wouldn't do it.
I'm learning all sorts of new things to try here when I go places because the sock thing, I'm not going to have it happen to me. I ain't telling nobody about that trick. I'm just going to try it on someone.
But there's no sense in ruining a good shirt. That's not smart. Socks.
Well,
they do fall down around your ankle the rest of the day, but
it's better than poop on your hat.
This is true.
That's true. Mm-hmm. Hey, if you'd have tucked a sock in the back of his pants,
us girls might just, put some toilet paper in our pocket.
True. Very true.
I don't like to ride with stuff in my pockets.
Yeah.
We might come prepared for such an event.
That sounds lame.
Actually,
sounds lame.
Well, we have to come prepared.
That's all you can.
What's that?
We have to come prepared because you guys don't ever come prepared. So that means that we have to double prepare for ourselves and you guys.
Yeah, it's called male privilege, and it's awesome. Okay.
I'm hungry. You pack an extra sandwich.
I more than $5 left.
And you always do. And you always do.
So many terrible stories.
We have lots of terrible stories. Have you got terrible stories, Tyler? Certainly you must have.
Oh gosh. Well, being the only girl with a bunch of brothers and a dad, yeah. There was a lot of.
Get them with this one. Next time you guys are doing something, you got an empty trailer, you got to set it up a little bit, but just take a little dollop of cow shit and just put a little bit of toilet paper right on the top of it. And then leave it right where everybody's going to find it.
Oh, good.
Yeah. Yeah. I like to leave it in a horse trailer so you go to load, everybody's going to load their horse. It's like, what the? There's this pile of shit.
They're all.
That's a good one.
If I'm going to do that, I might just take the sandwich bag and, follow my dog around for a bit and make it really work.
It's more visual. It's a visual.
It's a visual.
When you see that toilet paper, you know that's not any.
That's not right.
The dog didn't
That's
do
not
it.
right.
The cow didn't do it. Your horse didn't do it. It's got toilet paper on
Tyler's going to give us a story. Tell us. Expose yourself.
Gosh. I'm even trying to think. I'm like,
I know. I hate you.
Well, probably. Well, and it's happened numerous times, but you tell the boys or your dad or whatever, you're like, okay, I'm gonna go over here and pee. Don't come over here. Don't. Of course they don't listen because everything goes through one ear and out the other, and then they happen to walk in on you popping a squat, and then I don't know who it's more awkward for, myself or for them the rest of the day. No one they walked around the trailer and were like, oh shit.
Oh.
Yes. Some such event happened to me as well. I get that.
I was thinking of the time we were loading this bull up, me and a couple guys, and we had the cow boss's daughter with us. And she's a handy gal. She's a great fun gal. Katie.
Oh, Katie.
So
Okay.
we rode this bull and we're jumping around and we're dragging him in the trailer, and somehow I managed to rip my pants from the back pocket all the way almost to the zipper in the front. So It's summertime, so there's no extra. We don't carry anything extra in the summertime, especially skivvies. And so I'm kind of exposed. Here we got this gal, and so we managed to go through the first aid kit, and they had one of those things to tie over and whatever, and I'm in her underwear out of that. I don't know if they could put your shoulder a sling.
The sling,
yeah, it was like this white sling, and I managed to make her undergarments out of that and wear that the rest of the day on the way home, so I didn't offend anyone.
Diaper Man. You're like, what's that kids show?
It was kind of weird.
Captain Underpants.
I'm telling
Captain Underpants.
Funny. It was really funny.
Oh, that's funny. I pissed myself when I was trying to escape from a Jersey licking the fringe of my chinks. I was taking a leak and like midstream, you know, like, and it was right after morning coffee, so like it was a healthy stream, and and I just feel something on the edge of my chinks, and there's this little Jersey heifer like just licking the fringe of my chinks, and I'm like slapping her nose, and she's not going away, and I'm like trying to walk, and the next thing I know, I stepped in a big fresh pile of cow shit, slipped, fell down, and pissed all down my leg.
I want to draw a comic strip of this. That would be so amazing.
Well, and you know, and then you hit the ground, and like I said, I was midstream, so there's no stopping now, and you're just like, well, I guess this is my life today. There's not much I'm gonna do, so I just laid there and pissed on myself.
So
no.
I remember a story about a fellow we know, and like, anyways, they were camped out on the desert, and everybody had their teepee and whatever, and old Zorro had the flu. Ooh, what's his name?
Yeah, you can't tell the story because you.
Oh, we got that right. He had the flu, so he's in there, and you know what happens when you get the flu. And so he's jumping up, and all of a sudden the urge hits him. He's gonna die. It's like the squirt. So he jumps up, and he had his teepee all tied shut, and he's like trying to get a little nodded, and he lost it. He's like, ah! And he fell over as he farted, and he painted the back of his teepee with brown rainbow.
That's awful.
Yeah.
Poor dude. That's awful.
Yeah. Still
I don't really have any good shit stories, actually. I mean, it's kind of a different world for us gals, but I do have my one hunting story.
Oh, it's a little gerbil.
Yeah. So our own forester didn't even know that there were
feces eating weasels.
Feces eating weasels in the forest. So here I am, stick bow hunting, going for the big game, and I'm like, oh, it's time. It's happening. It's mid-morning.
How do we get on this call?
And
I
go for the big hunker. It's happening. All goes well. Everything's great. I have my gratuitous toilet paper in my pocket, so I didn't have to cut the tops of my socks off. And in the peacefulness of the morning, I notice in my squatted position, this little ermine was sniffing his way toward dessert. toward his breakfast. And I've got some pretty great wildlife stories. And so here I'm watching this little guy, and he's popping over logs, and he's looking at me going, "You done yet? Do I get some of that? Hey, what's up?" So I had eaten a peanut butter and jelly sandwich earlier that morning, and I had the tidbit. I had the tidbit right that I had not eaten due to filthy hunting hands still in my pocket, and I decided, as a gesture of peace between species, I would not only leave him my dump, but the last of that peanut butter and jelly sandwich for dessert.
There you go.
That's my best shit story I actually have.
He's like,
thank you. Thank you, goddess of the huntress.
He's like, baby, you just shit in my backyard.
You're so cute. You're the cutest little thing with the eyes. Here came.
He probably had an Italian accent too. He's like, yeah. You take a shit in the yard, it's no good.
You shit in my backyard.
Bibbidi bobbidi, bibbidi bobbidi.
Oh, no, you're some shit.
A jelly sandwich and say thank you. Look at that. Put a peanut butter and jelly.
You leave your peanut butter and jelly. I spit poo on your peanut butter and jelly.
Oh no! I'll never be able to look in the face. I'm gonna listen to this. Oh, you're the one. You're the one. No one will ever look at you the same on stage again. I had to do though, Tyler. That one's for you.
Story. You tell it if you want it. I'll come back.
We're gonna tell your F-16 fighter jet in on the desert story.
Oh yeah, let's hear this thing.
They're pretty fun, you know. They fly around and shit and they whatever. So we had received a bunch of cows out on the desert when we was coming home, and we come up on this deal, and it's like a long flat stretch of highway. And one of them fighter jets like flying out across us in front. Yeah, thank you. And so I was like, and then I did this with the highlight, the headlights. And so I was like flashing this fighter jet. He's out there, I don't know, a mile or two. He's like, and he sees our ship. He's like, whoa. So he whips around and he comes over and he like flies over us first. Then he goes around and he drops down right on the highway. And he's like coming right at us on the highway. It was so freaking cool. And so we're flying. We were just like, and so we stick our fingers out. And he goes right over the top of us. And it's like the trailer back there is going, and we're like,
horses are freaking out.
And it was cool shit. Then he goes out and makes this big circle, and he comes down. And he like right in front of us on the road. Just, and we're kind of like, oh, we'd be dead if he wanted to, you know. Then he flew out and and went home. And we were like, that's pretty fucking cool.
Yeah. Huh. Cool.
I think it was Tom Selleck, or not Tom.
Tom Cruise.
Tom
Cruise, yeah.
Scientology guy.
I'm pretty sure it's Tom.
Yeah.
It was probably
Scientology. You mean the truth?
The truth.
The only place where you can many hundreds of thousands of lives into the future away to be a super sailor.
I don't know enough about this. I want to learn more.
Netflix.
I
to everything.
I think there's a series of South Park episodes where Chef dies, and it's because the guy that played Chef in the show becomes a Scientologist.
Oh no!
But they don't get sued during the episode. They don't call it Scientology. They call it the Super Adventure Club. Yeah, it's pretty wild. It's Scientology, but can you imagine being like some Afghan goat herder the first time like an F-16 flew over? Like,
yeah, I can.
That's probably another shit story.
Yeah, probably. Ahmed shits himself.
Yeah. That's what I do.
I wonder because every time, we've got several military bases here close, so there's helicopters and shit flying over all the time, and I hate when they fly over when you're on horseback, because unless you got a really broke horse, you can't just like spin around and look up. You're on a horse, you're like, you get to here, and then you're like, move over, you fucking donkey. I can't find the helicopter. And
I should have.
But I can't.
Here's a helicopter. Like, not again.
But shit. I can't imagine. I can't imagine being some of these like some goat herder in whether it be Iraq or Afghanistan or something, and just like you're just minding your own business doing Iraqi
Oh,
goat
yeah.
herder shit, and then just here comes a F-16. Just like, what the fuck was that?
Right? So,
Turkish hash.
speaking of military,
Oh my God.
Turkish hash, nice
Turkish
one.
hash. That's the
What is with the American Army, the Afghani desert, and giants
Oh, now we
that
go.
pop out of like caves and eat everyone? I watched
It's
it
on YouTube.
on Netflix.
YouTube.
It has to be true.
All right, so we got the American gun. Else?
Army guys,
Mhm.
Afghani desert, I think. Some
Close enough.
Arab desert.
Some like hot, dry place that's over there, kind of
Utah.
out of the
Yeah.
way.
Yes.
Somewhere over there.
A
They
cave,
said it actually happened in
man-eating
Utah.
giants.
Bullshit.
redhead
Okay.
Covering
giants.
stuff up.
Google it.
There's bones in the cave and shit. It
He
sounded really
ate
cool.
That's at Lovelock, ain't it? The Lovelock Giants.
Maybe
This one had a cave with dead people in it.
dead people eaten. Philistine giant.
So you say.
You guys are stumped. You're gonna have to look
You
this
have
up.
everybody just sitting there going,
Well,
It's the real stuff.
awkward moment.
Nobody knows. See, I
What?
get the prize for tonight. I know something you don't know. You don't know. You don't know. No. Check it out.
Well, and it also like glitched right when you said it too, so maybe the government doesn't want us to know.
Every time
That's
you
true. It knows you're exposing their secrets.
every time you try to tell that, it does that.
I think Tyler.
We
you
got one
brains-
person watching, and it's an NSA agent.
Poor fucker. It's alone. All alone, nothing to do. It's like, let's watch the Move Your Ass show.
They're not moving their ass at all. They're talking conspiracy stories and shit.
They know. They know.
This is like the new Coast to Coast for the cowboy people.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Oh,
They can
man,
look at all sorts of stuff that they didn't even think that they needed to know about.
I love
That's right.
listening to that. That is
Right.
the best. Listening to Art Bell. Well, I don't know if it's Art Bell anymore, but yeah.
I'm curious though. I can tell Tyler's doing something, and I'm curious what she's doing. Are you braiding something?
Just taking notes.
Braiding?
Are you?
No, I am like I don't know. I like to just move.
Fidgety.
I'm fidgety. I'm like, so I think I was flipping my phone around is what I was doing. So
Way to put it.
I should probably do something with all of my fidgetiness, like braid or do something. I don't know.
Yeah. It's always good. I fidget too. Telling me, he says, can I have some of that? Because I'm always chewing my fingers.
Yeah.
Can I
Oh,
have
yeah. I have I do not have girl fingernails because I have to pick every ounce of my fingernails off. So they look, basically that's what I look like.
So we got a comment here from a shit story, I think is. So I watched a girl at a rodeo standing on her horse, watching the barrel wrestlers fall off and land on her feet when her horse farted and spooked it out from under her. So she was standing on her horse watching the barrel racers fall off, and then so her horse farted and jumped out from underneath it. That's funny though.
Matt's dad farted and his horse jumped out from under him.
Did it really?
I don't know what you did that saddle. It scared the shit out of that horse. It got out from under.
It vibrated the shit out of him, huh?
Yeah, I was like, I don't this shit. Whatever just happened up there,
I'm out.
There's
I don't freaking care. No way. That's sick shit.
I know there's been several cold mornings when I'm riding something young, where like I'm trying to just like do the little boop, boop. Yeah, because you don't want to get the cheek clap. Yeah, because you don't want to get full on cheek clapper on a colt that's got a hump in his back, because not only are you gonna spark off the rodeo, but you might shit yourself doing it.
Oh my God!
The first one that goes, it's on.
It's gonna happen.
Oh, Wilsons, this is a comedy bit here. I'm gonna work on this for Elko.
Oh my God!
It's on.
Yeah. So Matt always rode Mustangs. It was what we could afford when we were young. So we were always riding Mustangs, start Mustangs, straight Mustangs, whatever. So one morning we get out. And there's 3 guys saddling up, and I think I had babies at the time. I was not riding that day, and so everybody's kind of getting ready to load up, and that's exactly what happens. One horse farts. One horse farts. Mm-hmm. The entire snaps in half. Everybody's going in every direction. Matt's horse, of course, being true to his Mustang self, decides to just absolutely blow up. He's trying to. I go running. This thing's chasing me. He goes to buck up underneath the 5th wheel over the top of the flatbed and sucks back at the last minute. Must suddenly realize his head is not going to fit underneath there. Jody Cooper's horse was busted in half. Another guy, Lance Richardson, was a cow boss at the time. His horse was busted in half.
I really liked that horse, but he'd always buck when he knew he could get you.
Yeah, all because of one fart.
It'd be really great until he knew he could get you, like if he roped something.
Lethal atomic.
He bucked me off one time and roped this cow on ice, and I went to drag her and trip her down, and he got to slip a little, went to buck it, and he bucked me off. And I get down, and I always had this little 38 pistol, and I had thrown 2 half hitches somehow over the handle of that pistol, and I got my get down, and it sat there swinging between us. I was like, I'll take that. Yeah, Rimfire. I forgot about that.
Rimfire. He was a bastard.
And then the summer leg was wide open ahead of us. So I'd always been told, you just stab them some bitches, get them to run out from under. So
you would not run.
On land, I was whack. And he didn't run. And finally, I was like, ooh. So
please stop. Yeah. Okay.
I threw me off and I landed right on this pretty little pond, right on the edge of it. Yeah. Mm. That was cool. That was my favorite homestead.
Mm-hmm.
I plan to go back someday.
Yeah. I always want to be super awesome bronc rider, but I don't know. I'm too long and gangly and not enough upper body strength, I guess. But
Isn't it funny how farts transcend, like the comedy of farts just transcend situations? Because it could be, whether it's a human or a horse or whatever, something always happens. Something funny always happens with a fart. Always.
They always have a domino effect. It's like if one goes, they all go.
I know. Like with horses, it's just like they all start bucking, and kids, they all start giggling. Or, well, not even kids. Men in general.
You know what? A fart sounds the same in any language, too. Like Italian.
That is right. Numbers and farts are universal.
Yeah. You get together with somebody who speaks the same language.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah, because it brings 2 reactions: disgust or laughter. There's no options.
Yeah, much of 2. Exactly. It's like hot or cold, one or the other.
Yeah, and the people the people that are disgusted by it, just weed them right out of your life. You don't need that negativity.
Exactly. You're trying to live your best life, so you need to get rid of all that negativity.
Yeah.
Hang on it.
I'm going to keep that in my heart. I'm going to put that in my heart. I'm trying to live my best life. And, if I offend you, I'm heartfully sorry for that. But piss up a rope. I'm preserving my own happiness here.
That's exactly how it should be.
Yeah. Fuck them if they can't take a joke.
I wonder if that's what the Cornwall Duchess of Cornwall thought. I mean,
Maybe.
Soul was, she was like, thank God someone's finally had the guts to bust it in front of me.
I had it back. I was like joking.
Maybe.
I love Americans.
I thought it was joking, but they can't take a fuck.
They're interchangeable. I think it's basically the same, ain't it?
Yeah, it's just an order.
Yeah, it's semantics.
It became the egg thing before the egg thing. It's like it changed it.
So I was also thinking about this another bit for the Elko show, but can you imagine Donald Trump as a cow boss?
Hold on, I'm trying.
Yeah.
It's hard.
Okay, crew. We got a really good crew. I walk in the tack room. I say to myself, what a great crew we got. We got a lot of cows out there. Tremendous amount of cows today. We got a lot of work to do. Y'all rode out over the ridge today, and I said, wow, that's a lot of cows. Nobody told me there's so many cows today.
Would he be able to wear a hat, though, with his hair, is my question.
Oh, that's a good one.
Good point.
Well, I've seen plenty, like there's a bunch of those Photoshop t-shirts where like there's like one where Trump's riding a bull or one where he's like bulldogging a steer, and he's got a hat. No, I don't know if he had a hat on those either. So
I think Trump could make.
Maybe he just wears the MAGA hat. I don't know.
That is true.
Could we make him a MAGA cowboy hat?
Like hair go with his hair. Then you have a hair hat.
A MAGA cow, like a red felt MAGA hat.
There you go.
A cowboy had this red felt.
What's a mega hat? What is
Make America great.
MAGA.
Oh, acronym.
Yeah.
Okay.
Back better.
Not Build Back Better.
I'm gonna make T-shirts for 2024. Boots O'Neill 2024. Punch cows in the mouth again.
Yeah.
That's for sure gonna be a shirt come 2024.
I think that's a good
one.
Well.
Everybody's
quiet.
Yeah.
I'm just imagining. I'm still hooked. I'm hooked on
phonics.
I'm not hooked on phonics. Hooked on Trump as a cowboy. I'm like, Reagan had the hair. He had the cowboy hat. But could Trump really pull it off? I mean, it would almost be a decimation of his hair to make him wear a hat. But then he wouldn't technically be a cowboy if he didn't.
I gotta be like true. Always just had like hanging on his back with the strap, like
yeah.
The best of both worlds, both the hat and the fancy hair.
Yeah.
See, she's got it.
Trump
cut out
poncho.
We need yes.
With a wood stove.
Bandolier.
With a wood stove door underneath it.
What's that?
What?
You haven't seen that?
He could have a poncho, like, but it looks like a suit and a red tie.
Ooh, that'd be kind of nice.
But it's a poncho?
Yeah. It's like a tuxedo t-shirt, except it's a suit and tie poncho.
We need to make this happen in Elko. We need a cutout.
I know.
Matt's bringing the cow. So
I'll have to. I might look into that. I wonder what cardboard cutouts cost, like custom cardboard cutouts.
They probably outlawed all Trump prop.
Yeah, I found the cow. There's some good ones on there.
No Trump cutouts available to Americans. You'll have to get it, from the UK and
what if we have
pay extra for poundage.
Sleepy Joe cutout too. Yeah, we need a whole bunch of cutouts for all of them behind us.
No, Sleepy Joe cannot don the stage with us. I won't do it. No. Unless we play pin the shit on Biden. We could have these little shits.
Pin the shit on Biden. That's a great idea. That is a brilliant idea.
Everybody should be drinking anyway. It's just like, yeah, pin the shit on Biden. Yeah, I like it.
Hey, I could be a millionaire right now. I thought of it first.
I like it. Pin the shit on Biden.
That would be a game worth playing.
Copyright. We're
Yeah, this is not a digital copyright.
that's a brilliant idea. Pin the shit on Biden.
There'll be household funds for decades to come.
Well, and we could make it like a board game too. So it'd be like Clue, you know, like who was the murder weapon? Except it's always Biden, and he shits, but it's like who does he shit in front of?
Yeah.
Did he shit in front of an African warlord, or did he shit in front of the French president? Who knows?
Both. Woo!
Oh, this is a great idea.
I like it.
Well, see, this is the perfect time for me to launch one of my many inventions. Matt probably has not told you that I'm an inventor. Okay.
I haven't told
No.
I come up with the ultimate shit erasing
I don't remember this
tool. And this comes, I kind of gleaned it from the Stadium Pal. Are you familiar with the Stadium Pal? Stadium Pal connects to your junk, so you don't have to leave the stadium when you got to take a leak. And you just pee right down your leg through a tube and into a bag. And then when you do get some break time from the game, you just put your foot on the toilet and drain right out the bottom of your pant leg. I saw it. It exists. It's called the Stadium Pal.
We don't even use that. We just take our boot off and drain it.
Waterproof.
I was sitting at the bar drinking, somebody else was buying. I'm like, I ain't getting that shit. I'm staying drink. Okay. Then you just get done, you go outside, you just take your boot off, pour it right out.
This is a pottying innovation that we will see in the next, I'm going to say 20 years.
And what is it?
It is a vacuum seal for the rectum so that you do not have to stop driving or teleporting in your floatable car by 2040. You have to take a crap or whatever you got to do. It just sucks it right out of your body into a tank and you keep on going. You don't have to stop what you're doing. So if Biden had my invention, no one would have ever even known because it's a vacuum seal right around your sphincter.
But like, where does it go?
And it goes into an airtight, stink-free bag. You have to dump it later.
Oh, okay.
I mean,
okay.
But think of the pounds of embarrassment he would have saved himself with the other day.
So like all the old people, instead of wearing Depends, like they just start wearing Jinko jeans so they could deposit their vacuum sealed shit.
Copyright number 2, right here. You heard it first. I'm burning daylight.
Oh,
you ain't
my word.
It eliminates toilet paper. It eliminates embarrassment. It eliminates elimination.
And it brings back Jinko jeans. Hey, and you know what? It then it'll make all those poor goth kids be like, "What the fuck? Grandpa's wearing my clothes." Maybe the goth kids will get a job.
Look at all the world saving that has been done.
Solving problems here on Burning Daylight.
One poop at a time. One poop at a time.
Oh man, that's awesome. That is awesome.
I'm just filled with these just filled with all these inventions. I tell you.
Yes, I hear.
I always tell him
What else
there's
you got?
no
What else you
greater
got?
waste of my time than having to go to the bathroom. The waste of life.
Just think
Such a
of that.
nuisance.
No, and if she's a Nazi. She is a straight up Nazi. I'm
Just
not
Nazi.
Nazi.
Not with his nose.
Oh right, it's just a disguise.
It's a disguise for my true.
You are a true world leader.
Save me, Tyler. Help me out of this.
She's a world dominator. Yeah.
Matt, you wanna build a bit to raffle off?
I sure can. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which
I don't know. Sure, something cool.
see what you're. Yeah, okay. I'll do something cool. Mechanical Hackmore.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's what gets all the girls going.
That's some Charlos and some rebar.
Chain from swing set.
Yeah.
Yeah. Custom mechanical Hackmores.
Here to flip your horse over at least once.
I call them the Jerkamore.
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 Yeah, Jerkamores. Maybe like son of a bitch.
Yeah.
Or him in the cheek. He's been like some.
Something cool though, and we'll raffle it off. We'll make some money.
Latink says otherwise.
Latinka?
Yeah.
Latinks.
Latinks.
Says
I can.
maybe it should be a Burning Daylight John Wayne tribute somehow.
Oh.
We'll brainstorm.
Or that boots. Something to do with what does it take to be said cowboy?
A horse. You gotta have a horse to start with.
We'll have to think on this. He's the mastermind.
I will think of something though. Yeah.
All right. We'll either raffle it or auction it. One of the two. We'll do something. We'll do something cool with it.
Yeah, I'll get something for Elko too.
Yeah.
I'm busy. I wish it'd snow more. I stay in the shop and the weather's shitty.
Hey, we got a guy in Battle Mountain that wants to auction something off, anyways. So he'll be there at the show. So we'll let him.
Oh, he wants to just be an auctioneer like deal.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah. Like he wants to do the actual auction. So
I hear there's a lot of Mexicans at the border.
yeah, there you go.
You got to find one.
I need a son.
Oh.
I told him I'm going to get me a boy
You're
from
gonna go
down
down there
there.
and pick up something.
Teach him a Fort Bronx.
That would be the thing to take a pony down there. It's a shitty pony and stick him on and see which one stays
Well,
on. I'll take
get
that.
him and then send him back so they can come back over, and then you'll get your $450,000.
Oh,
That is thinking.
I've got a white van.
I mean, it's worth a shot if they catch him. I mean, they're probably not going to do anything with him, so you'll.
It's kind of a win-win situation all the way.
You know,
around.
like the upside is you get $450,000. Downside is like it's delayed. You know, you delay getting your son a day or so, something like that. I mean, I think it's worth the risk.
yeah, I think so. I've been wanting me some twin boys. I'm sure I can find him. Go down there, sort
There
through.
you go. Yeah. I think it's.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I can see you just like throwing candy out like for the birds. So you're gonna
I
like that one.
Oh God.
That one.
So sad though, because it's like every aspect of what's going on is just so absolutely inhumane on all levels, and there's no way to win on that whole thing, because I myself, even though I joke a lot and I make stupid comments, like there's there is no way that I couldn't look into the face of those people and just be an absolute enabler. You know, like I'd be like, oh my God, this one's starving. This one's starving. This one, before I knew it, I'd have like 50 kids and crying my way home because I wouldn't be able to take them all, you know.
I'd be more like giving them guns and go back down there and shoot them damn bastards.
What in the world?
What are you coming here for? Here's some guns. Go back home.
What in the hell is going on that these people are? I don't know what a messed up deal.
I know. Absolutely. I always wonder, like, that takes some organization to get that many people together. So I don't know. It's weird.
They need to get Antonio Banderas to lead them. Once upon a time in Mexico, they like or like mariachi, they go like mariachi bands.
Oh, you're talking about that one movie where he hides the guns in his cases.
Guitar cases. He's like, you team Antonio Banderas up with three amigos, and them cartels will be like crying their asses off.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think you're onto something.
Little Nettie Netherlander, he'll show him.
And I would watch the shit out of that movie too.
That would be a pretty good movie. I think
as long as they bring in Penelope Cruz though a little bit.
I'm up for that.
Penelope Cruz has to play a role in this revolution somehow.
I'm up for Penelope Cruz.
Yeah, she's hot. I'm fine with
Catherine Zeta-Jones.
Yeah, Catherine Zeta-Jones too. She's got to be in it.
Okay.
Well, she plays a good Mexican chick. No offense, Mexican chicks.
Next thing you know, it's just it's all the hot Mexican actors, and that's what the movie is. There's no story. It's just it's all the hot Mexican actors.
Hey, I can use a new word that I learned from my 20-year-old daughters.
Oh no! What?
Oh,
we can make audiences thirsty.
Oh,
yeah. I recognize that word. I recognize that word.
I don't know, Matt.
The actor's so hot. Oh, I'm so thirsty.
Hey.
See, I'm in.
Tell about that. I got a phone call from a teleprompter gal. She, I get a lot of these things. I love them. I like one gal called me up. She's like, "We'd like to offer you something on your Medicare." And all I need to do is give my bank account. And I was like, "So if it's not here in 30 minutes, the pizza's free, right?" And she's like, "Bit." I'm like, "Pan crust. Don't forget. I want pepperonis." This is like, she just kept trying to sell her deal, and she finally hung up on me. But then my favorite one, the other morning, it was like, I just get my coffee and it rings. And I'm like, oh, I don't care. I feel like taking one. So I pick it up and it's like, gal, she says, I don't remember what she said. She said her name's Clarice. And I went, hello, Clarice. She just goes, I get that a lot. I was like, lady, I said, you're so freaking cool. I just can't. I was like, I'm sorry. I just had to do it. It's like, man. I was like, I really appreciate how cool you are that I could do that to you. And all you said was, I get that a lot. Yeah, it's cool. But God, I mean, how often do you get set up like that? Hello,
Clarice. I got some email the other day, and it was, they were trying to blackmail me for something, because we got your webcam footage, and they're like, we're gonna expose it to your family and your friends or whatever. And I was like,
you were a little worried.
Well, no, I asked if I said, will my grandma see this? Because she stroked out the last time she caught me masturbating. I did not get a response from him.
I was lost in translation. They weren't sure what that word was.
No, we want another one grandma in it. That's terrible.
Oh, it's awful.
That almost blew that out of his nose. Oh, yeah, I don't like that thing. I don't like the cams they put out in the woods. I don't like those. I was down hunting with a guy in California, and we were checking out an area, and there's some questionable things going on. But anyway, so we were in this area looking for bears and things, and I was stumbled up to take a leak. I didn't think nothing about it. And so we're at this wedding like 6 months later, and this guy comes up to me, and I introduce myself. He's like, "Oh yeah, I know you. You were on one of my webcams, or like hunting cams." I was like, "What the fuck?" Because the only I don't know. Yeah, so he must have some good piss footage, I guess. I don't know. I was hosing it down like a bear. Yeah.
Well, you guys have got some good stories, because there's this fella commenting here. He's I know him from back in Kansas, and apparently he's mad at me. But you guys kept him around for a solid 15 minutes, so good work.
Nice. All right.
Yeah. Yeah. He sold me a horse, and I paid him a little bit up front, and then shit got tight, so I couldn't. And so I gave him the horse back. He gave me my money back, and I thought we were cool on that, but maybe not. Anyhow, good to see you, buddy. Thanks for sticking around.
Yeah.
15 minutes, that's nothing. You've been pissed for 15 days before.
You only thought I was pissed for 15 days.
Well,
I was pissed for far more than.
Yeah, the first week I didn't notice, and then in the last 15 days I noticed you were pissed.
I must know more about Tyler. You had some special questions for her tonight, I'm sure, and we've hogged the time.
Well, no, I was just planning a bull session, and I didn't have any. That's what I like about the bull sessions. I don't have to have any questions. We just shoot the shit.
I know. I've just been sitting here listening because you guys have so many good stories. I'm just like, oh my gosh, these are all so interesting. We get a lot.
Well, so how long has your family been in Utah?
Oh gosh. I mean, I think for a long freaking time, because like
they
as
moved
far
to
back as I.
They didn't move to Utah. They moved to Deseret.
Basically, yeah. I'm like, I think even clear like, oh god, a handful of my ancestors. Yeah, I think we've basically like dwelled here. I don't know.
So your family was part of like the original Mormon migration then?
I would imagine so. Yes. Huh. I don't know 100% sure, but it probably
That's
cool. Crazy. Yeah. Those were some tough old bastards back then, man. I was talking to a family out of Elko. I'm not sure if they're from there originally, but they're up in Elko County, and their family, the guy's family was his ancestors came over with the hand cart, like they pushed the hand cart from St. Louis. Well, it wasn't quite St. Louis. It's like Iowa somewhere, all the way to freaking Salt Lake City, pushing a hand cart with 500 pounds of gear on there.
I like how smart they were about organizing all that. They were pretty sharp. The way they did that, moving across the country and all of that. It's impressive how they did, how they let folks thoughts and things. It's pretty sharp.
Yeah, it was interesting. I've done a little bit of research on that, and it's it's wild. Those are some very smart, tough old folks.
So I'm like, I'm glad that they did that, and I mean, I don't quite enjoy like this day and age, but I am glad I wasn't a part of that day and age.
There's
like, if they could have just stuck me somewhere more in the middle rather than right now.
Makes you think twice when you get real pissed off when Instagram's not.
Look, you just glitched him out. Instagram.
Oh, I know.
Did I glitch out?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they did it to you.
They did. They were like,
I said it's it goes to makes you think, like puts things in perspective when you get pissed off about Instagram not loading. At least you're not pushing all your belongings across the prairie in a handcart.
Right?
Especially in the winter time.
Well, I know, and you came over from like Scotland, and you're just like, oh, I'm gonna start a new life. Here, push this handcart, bitch.
Just keep pulling it till both the wheels break off, and then you can stay right where you're at.
Yeah. Pray real hard that when your wheels fall off, you're close to a town.
True.
If not, make real nice with the Lamanites.
Yeah.
Yeah. What a
gratuitous arrow to the chest.
Yeah, it's what a.
The men Mormons dressed up doing that.
It's
they did do a little of that.
It's amazing how that was only what, like 150 years ago ish.
Oh, I know, no shit, huh?
I know, and really,
my grandma talks about being moved in a wagon.
I was just going to say that my grandma.
Dead now, but she did.
Yeah, my grandma talked about watching the Native American children. Yeah, the Indian boys racing the train and trying to run their ponies in front of the train to show that they were brave or whatever in Julesburg, Colorado. Yeah, and about the Wild West show, how it came through Colorado, and it was a long time ago, but it wasn't so far away that we can't touch it. Like we literally did. But Matt and I realized the other day that our kids won't be able to have that unless we pass it to them, because we knew our grandparents from then, but they died. The kids didn't know our grandparents from then. So now it's literally stories where we have those stories in the flesh, like those. So we have, and that's important for people our age, to honor our age and recognize that we are that only link left to that time is, because we have to cherish those stories and remember those things and pass them to our kids. Otherwise, all of that understanding, everything that once was, is just going to wash away, People won't think it's real anymore,
Yeah.
They're already do that with the Holocaust. They're already trying to say, well, that didn't really happen, Yeah, it really did. So anyway.
And in history always repeats itself. So if they're trying to forget it now, it's eventually going to re-repeat itself.
Yeah. I don't know. There's a lot of parallels between the 1920s and right now. It's kind of wild.
Isn't that? I know it's kind of, yeah. I think we might have better alcohol now, though.
I don't know. They were those hillbillies in the hollers were cranking up some pretty tough shit back in the day.
We've got White Claw.
Oh.
Yeah. You know what? People talk shit on the seltzers. I'm a fan. You know what? I'm a fan.
Oh, same. Those
really
some Arnold Palmers, they can hit the spot every now and then.
What are they?
Arnold Palmers.
Yeah.
An iced tea.
Oh.
Yeah, I love it. And them seltzers are good when you're brushing your teeth. Like what?
Trulies. You didn't. Yeah, I guess you could. You could brush your teeth with Trulies.
Yeah, they're like water.
Truly berry yum.
The thing is they're like water, so you can drink those when you're not drinking. That's what you can do.
You can rehydrate.
Yeah,
they're rehydrating drinks.
True.
I made prison wine for a while. And I wasn't in prison, but I just made it.
Right.
But, oh man, it's easy. It's pretty good. Yeah, just gotta have like a jug that'll percolate and something sweet, sugary, and yeast, and it works really good. Too good.
I will have to try that.
You should. Yeah.
It's dangerous, girl. It is dangerous.
Well, the problem I'm like the biggest lightweight ever, so I'm sure I would get.
Oh my God. But I even made some, like I had this cooler one time and it had like a thing of green beans in it, a whole bunch of blueberries.
Swill that had fallen out of the
Damn
package.
green beans fell out in my blueberries. I was like, yeah, screw
Bottom
it.
of the
I'm making
freezer,
prison
sludge.
wine, you know. So I made this. It worked. It was pretty tasty. It was a little
Green bean blueberry wine.
But it still gets you messed up. I made this grapefruit wine. And I thought, oh shit, it percolated forever and it kind of quit percolating. I was like, oh, must be done. So I grabbed it and I took a swig of this stuff and it was like, it didn't taste like there was any alcohol in it at all, just kind of like grapefruity. And it wasn't bitter or nothing like that. So, yeah. So I sat down and I was drinking this and I'm like, well, shit, there's no sense in keeping it around. It's not wine. I might as well just drink it all up. It's juice. So I just drank it all up. Well, I got up to, Rach had been on the phone with this doctor that wouldn't prescribe something for the kids. And I was all pissed up. And I stood up to say something. And I just went, I didn't feel drunk. I didn't nothing, but holy shit, this stuff snuck up on me. And I woke up there, I think.
Yeah.
I just threw a blanket over him, left him on the floor.
It was good. Oh my God, it was terrible.
We got our pocket the other day.
Oh.
Walk.
It's an Ewok.
Look, he's looking at himself.
I'm going to Instagram the shit out of this dog.
You'll probably have 10,000 followers in the next 2 weeks. People like dogs.
It probably will. If you use hashtag dogs of Instagram, it'll go viral.
I guess they like
Instagram. That's our success right there.
Yeah. Sounds like I'm up for anything. I guess they like to take pictures of dogs. Crunch on stuff, so that's kind of, I don't know. I fed all my dogs, and there was like 10 of them. A few of them on top of the dog box, some over on the porch, and they're all sitting around going.
You should throw like a couple fake hands in there, and then take them.
I like that.
One of those like rubber legs with the bone sticking out. Just throw that in there.
Dog comes around. I like that.
See, put that on Instagram, and I think that'll go viral. Yeah.
Dog runs that. I love that shit.
I think that would that'll blow up your Instagram profile.
Dog's got a hold of one. They're playing tug of war. Like,
yeah.
Oh, I'd love that. That'd be great.
That would be funny. That'd be funny as shit.
Goals.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
What'd you call that? Couples goals? Did you say that? Couples goals or something?
Couple goals, yeah, something like that.
Gotta put the hashtag at the first of it though.
Hashtag couple goals, yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, Rachel, you've gotta meet my little girl one of these days. Like you two are like kindred spirits, I swear to God. some of the shit that she does, I was just like, it just reminds me of like Rachel would have done that when we were in Elko.
That's awesome.
Oh, she's a hoot. She's a hoot, and and my dad loves her because she always sings to him when we call him on the phone, and he loves, you've met him, he loves performing live. He loves that's that's the thing he really gets a kick out of, is just performing. And so he's a big fan of Sophia when she's singing. But yeah, it's that Elko show last year was something pretty cool. I think I don't know.
It was a lot of fun.
It was a lot of fun, and we were the only ones that did anything. I still gotta put a hat, feather in my hat over that.
Hey, I got an idea. Let's
What's
double
up?
the Elko show. Let's double the Elko show. So
Okay.
precisely 6 months after the February Elko, we have a Burning Daylight summer Elko gathering.
All right, let's do that. So that'd be in August, right?
Yeah, and let's kick us off a team roping in the whole 9 yards. Let's kick the shit out of it and do our own thing.
Now, is it going to be a traditional team roping or midget team roping?
Ah! You went there, yeah.
I think that
Yes.
either rope midgets or you have to have a midget team.
You gotta have a midget on your team.
I'm good either way. Like, do we rope the midget or do the midgets rope real cattle?
No. See, they already did that. They already did. I love Terror in Tiny Town. We talked about that.
Yeah.
It's great. Terror
in Tiny Town's a great show.
We gotta have paperwork on these midgets. You are not allowed into the roping unless you have official paperwork on your midget.
No, I just want to rope midgets.
No,
Like,
that's
can you
degrading.
imagine-
That's degrading.
Imagine them busting out of the box. They got little short legs.
That is actually pretty funny.
Can we put a wiener dog costume on him?
Wiener dog costume with the AR.
No, whole
Yeah.
little horns on it. and a set of tits on the front. The four, like a milk cat.
Yes. We're gonna have to sell 1 million tickets to cover the insurance liability, but it'll be worth it.
All I want,
Go to peg and go left like a mofo.
I want
These little.
trampolines. We
That's
cannot
terrible.
fully have.
Speaking of the rodeo, I did a poll the other day, like, should we do a live watch along for the NFR? And a bunch of people said yes, so we're gonna do that. I don't know if I'm gonna do all 10 days. That seems like it might be a bit much, but
Grueling.
we'll see. We'll see how it goes. But I'll let you know if you guys want to hop on and watch the rodeo with us. You're more than welcome.
Yeah.
We might have to do, yeah. I mean, I wondered if you did all 10 days, you'd have to like edit highlights.
Yeah,
Highlight.
I don't got time. I don't got time to edit shit. So
Yeah.
All right, that's out.
I'll let you do the editing if you want to. We can do that.
No.
Here, I need your glasses for that editing time. Here we go.
Woo! Yeah, so we're gonna do a live watch along for at least one round. We might do multiple. I don't know. 10 days in a row seems like a lot.
Is it okay that we make fun of people? Because that's gonna happen.
Oh no, that's what everybody wants. That's what I'm gonna do.
Okay, great. Because
I'm gonna commentate the rodeo just like I would if I was at the rodeo.
Nice.
Oh right, yeah.
We are going to blatantly talk
Armchair-
behind people's backs and drink beer.
cowboy shit. I stuck with some bitch.
Well, I'm gonna talk so much shit on Joe Beaver while he's trying to guess the time on all the calf ropers.
Nice. This sounds like fun. Oh,
I think
God.
so.
Wait,
Oh.
I'm wearing a costume.
All right. Yes.
I hope so.
Can I wear a mustache? Can I be a number of different people?
Oh,
Can I be a number
costume
of
changes? That'd be great.
character
Are you
changes
gonna
throughout?
go? Are you gonna do full Eddie Murphy and just play multiple characters in this?
There we go. I think it should be almost like a
Looking
drink.
for nub in all the wrong places.
It needs to be a drinking game too. So like
Drink.
we got to have a code. Every time something happens, we got to drink. Then all of us will be shit faced for each other.
Oh man.
Those are fun games. I like those
Yeah.
games.
Yeah, good television, Matt.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it'll be a fun time. I think it'll be a good one.
Yeah.
I too am a lightweight, Tyler. So, it won't take much. You and I are going to have to be careful.
I know. We're
Oh.
gonna have to pace ourselves here with these words. We get our own word bank for this.
I did whiskey shots for the first time in my life at 44 years old in Elko last year.
That's fun. Jameson.
Yep. I lost my legs after 2 shots.
I'm right there with y'all.
That was fun.
Elko was a good time last year. God, it was fun.
That
was fun.
I sure hope you come, Tyler. You and your friend.
I think that's because, we were talking about it, and then all of a sudden you guys said something. I was like, well, now we have to go if we've talked about it, and then it got brought up tonight. So
well, and it's a good show. It was a good show.
I know. I'm like, I've seen it like on social media, but I've never made it over there. But now I have to now.
Right? I really wish the whole thing was going on, but the fucking cowards, they caved again and canceled it. And
well, that's because they're not cowboys. We all know that.
Exactly.
They're folk artists. God bless them. They got something good going. But
lawyer poetry show.
Banker and lawyer poetry show. And real estate salesman poetry show.
Yeah, I don't like that.
God bless them. You know, I'm one to talk because I'm just a terrible roper. I get all scared I'm going to kill somebody because I nearly have several times.
Well, I had a guy talking shit about how I can't ride a horse on my own podcast tonight. So we're in the same boat. So we're good. Whatever.
We'll make fun of him.
Yeah, it's all right. It's all right. I'm sure he was drunk, wishing he would have started a podcast. So it's all good.
We can Instagram stalk him and find out all his dirty secrets. Maybe we should, and then we can call him up and say, we know what you did last summer. We've got the webcam. We got the webcam material. Now hijack your grandma with the webcam material.
Oh, shit.
Harassment. It's my middle harassment.
I'm really disappointed that they canceled that though. I had a pretty decent line to get Ramblin' Jack on the show too, which would have been fucking rad. And now if they're not gonna do it, I don't know if he's gonna be there. And that guy's like 107 years old. He don't have much longer left. So I'd like to talk to him before he dies. And
well, I think you should send out invites. Just send out invites and see who accepts, because we're not the people that are just sick of this crap, like this is complete idiocy. We all know the distancing doesn't work. We all know the vaccines don't work. We all know the masks don't work. We all know this is a political movement. Like, we all know that. I don't need to be thrown in Facebook jail. It's not a secret. Everybody knows this, right?
And this is not so I get, YouTube credible or whatever. No, but this is my actual thoughts. I think the vaccines work, from what the studies show, for about 6 months, which means it's a shitty vaccine. If your vaccine only worked for 6 months in cattle, you wouldn't use the goddamn thing. Because that's twice a year you got to run your cattle through the chute to keep them safe. It's not a good vaccine.
And some of them fall over
right.
dead when you give it to them.
Drag
that one out of the chute, it died.
Blood clots and paralysis, Well, and that is the truth, and it's like this herd immunity thing. Well, then let people get sick and get over it, That's
that's what Sweden did, and they're doing just fine.
And if we're going to take a loss risk on vaccines and say, well, we expect the death toll to be this percentage based on this vaccine, we'll weigh that out against people just straight up taking on the virus and getting over it. What's there? If we could actually get truth and we could actually get proper numbers, people weren't constantly manipulating those numbers.
The numbers, or whatever, whatever they are, I don't care. That the numbers make no difference to me. It's the fact that you're telling me to take something No, I'm just gonna say no. Like I don't care if it's the best vaccine on earth. If it's that good, let me do my research and decide for myself. Don't force it on me.
Yeah.
The fact that you're forcing it on me is making me suspicious.
Exactly. Nothing should be forced, especially that kind of stuff. You should be able to choose what goes in and out of your body.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's wild, but anyway, whatever their reasons were for canceling the whole deal, which is a shame because regardless of the like what the people do that actually perform there, they put on a good damn show, and it's a fun time, and it's a well put together deal, and they should be having it this year. But it's people like us that keep that whole thing going. So whatever, we're putting on a show.
Yep, let's do it.
It's gonna be a good time. Stage Door's stoked about it, so they're actually gonna charge people this time, and we get to have a little bit of a kickback. So $10 to get in is what we're thinking. So we don't have a finalized number on that yet, but it'd probably be a $10 cover.
Yeah, and honestly, I think if we're gonna do this as entertainers, comedians, poets, singers, songwriters, if we're going to do this, then I'm going to throw it out there that I think people that have their own artistic flair in something, whether that be rawhiding, silversmithing, whatever, take it amongst yourself to grab the opportunity to start something new, and gather your friends, gather your group of people that are craftsmen, find a venue and make it happen. And let's make it happen. There's no law against us getting together and having that freedom. And if we're going to do it, then other people shouldn't feel hindered to pursue what they're passionate about as well. We spend a hell of a lot of time over coffee, laughing our asses off, and we go back, take a nap, get something to eat, and start the show. There's lots of time during the day to say, okay, well, we're going to be here at this coffee house. We're going to set up 5 tables at this coffee house filled with silver. Come on in and see it. Yeah. And basically that is what Elko is from my experience. It's just that it's being run by a board of directors that are really scared that they're going to lose probably their grant money, their federal funding, if they continue it. We're not a nonprofit. We're not up for federal grant money. We're individuals. We're free people of the United States. We have the freedom to gather. So let's do it. Let's do it. I mean, Matt could kick something off. Matt's got a number of people that he knows that do silver work or jewelers. And Tyler, you probably have a number of friends that have different crafting skills or want to do an equine clinic of some kind. Well, let's just tell people, come do your own thing. Put your poster up. This is what you're doing at Elko during Elko season. Has no affiliation whatsoever.
And you know what? And just call people in Elko, because I know last year, I don't know what happened this year, but last year the Elko county commissioners voted and sent a letter to the Folklife Center to please reconsider, because so much money was going to be lost from the community of Elko by canceling that. And so like the board or the county commissioners asked them to continue, and they still didn't. So just reach out to people in Elko. They want to do this thing.
Well, I think two things. I think it's real that there's a lot of federal grant money that comes into that whole deal.
Well, I think so.
I do think they're afraid to rock the boat because somebody often not get the federal money. And my feelings, they're personal, and I know you look back over history, there's some amazing cowboys that have done, quit cowboying and built some beautiful saddles, and quit cowboying and built some beautiful bits. And they put their whole life into, doing stuff like that. But the fellas that are still cowboying and still ranching, they don't tend to meet that level of perfectionism that is being told by all of us. That's what cowboy skills are now. And I mean, I'm gonna probably piss off some people, but I mean, traditional.
Yes, you will, Mr.
I am. I don't give a shit.
Yes, you will.
Traditional Cowboy Arts Association. I mean, who the fuck rides a $40,000 saddle? I mean, come on. It's beautiful. It is. But there's a whole bunch of shitheads like me that just make what we make, and we we don't have the money to buy plasma cutters and all kinds of shit and sit around and do this stuff all day long. And I just think there's a lot of young kids that are braiding stuff and doing things, and they're afraid to jump out there because they're not making the kind of stuff that they're being told is what cowboys make. And it's like, bullshit. If you're a cowboy and you make it, bring it. Show it. Because all you do is get better with time.
I'm not a maker, but I've jerry-rigged a bunch of shit together that's held up just fine.
Yeah.
And
and that's the thing. Most cowboys make. I got to making shit because I couldn't buy it and I wanted it.
Yeah.
That's why I braided. I made bits. That's why That's why you fix your own saddle, because you can't take it to town. And these are bunkhouse skills, and they've turned it into this deal where everybody's shiny and got a big fucking poncho on their wild rag. I know I'm pissing everybody off, but I respect their work. It's beautiful. You see these silver goblets that are, and it's like, but that isn't us.
I think what he's trying to say is there's a lot of common people that are really out there pounding saddle, that are really out there freezing their asses off, pulling calves in the middle of the winter,
and afraid
that are really living off of ranch wages in a shitty ranch house.
Afraid to bring their stuff because it doesn't.
Yeah, because they don't feel like it's good enough. But everybody has to start somewhere. And what's really inspiring is there's young people Tyler's age that are jumping out there just punchy as hell, trying with all their heart. And I personally feed off of that. Young people just bring me so much joy. It's hard getting old. It's hard looking in the mirror and saying, do you value the prospect of grandchildren, or do you value your pride? And you're going to climb on that colt to show everybody something at 45 years old. I've had my wrecks. I've earned my cowgirl badge, and hopefully inspired a lot of people. I've had people say that I have in my attempts to learn and become. And it's their time to shine. It is really their time to shine. So I think we should honor those young people, honor their skills. They're doing with what they can. And
there's a lot of talented people that are turning beautiful things out too.
Yeah. I say we go.
I just think that it's like you said, Matt, right now the door's wide open.
But just do it.
People that want to be there come, and that's what I enjoyed last year. I seen friends around town, and there was folks trading and doing.
There was still a few people there. It wasn't much going on, but as far as the live entertainment goes, we were the only show in town, and that's pretty fucking cool.
Well, and I think that maybe
pretty cool.
I think it'd be great if a bunch of cowboys just showed up to party.
I know.
Well,
I can't speak for them, but as far as I know, Outside Circle's still doing their thing at the Stars, so we'll be wrapping up. We'll be wrapping up right about the time they're getting started. So, fucking let's do it.
Good for them.
Let's do it. Yeah.
That's great. Hear that?
Yeah, me too.
A lot of good folks over there.
Like I said, I don't know for sure, but last I talked to Justin, they were still doing it, so I hope they do, because it lines up perfect with what we're doing. Like we're doing somewhere like 7 to 9 or 8 to 10, and that's about when they get rolling over there. So like that's a hell of a night in Elko.
Oh boy, yeah, I did it 2 nights.
Hey, you know what the thing is? Cowboys have always known how to party. They always know how to party. They know. Even if they're out at cow camp, they know how to party. So real cowboys show up. Let's party.
Yeah.
Let's do it. Yeah. Let's do it. I like it a lot. Yeah. And as far as you guys were saying with the makers, like I'm all about that shit. Like just if you're making something, put it out there. And if you're wanting to get a little more exposure, send me a message. Go to my website. I have a deal for small business. Fill out a form. I'll do an ad read for free. Just do it. And if you got something to send me so I can do a better ad read for you. If not, send your information anyways. I'll do it just because that's Small business is what makes everything
Cowboy
go.
gears for cowboys.
Yep.
That's what I say. Cowboy gears for cowboys. I mean, I can appreciate the fancy stuff, but that's not for most of us working guys. We can't afford that. And a little reality be cool.
Yeah.
And that's good to hear, like, for the people my age and stuff, because, oh gosh, maybe, I think it's been 4 years now. I wanted a new pair. I had wore through my shaps and stuff that I had. Couldn't afford a new pair. So I borrowed a pattern off this kid I worked with, made my own pair of Armitas, and I sold the whole thing by hand because I couldn't afford a sewing machine. And so I don't know, it's everything. Like, if you want it bad enough, you're just gonna have to figure it out on your own. And you see other people with all this fancy stuff, but I don't know, I'm getting by just fine with my hand sewn pair and stuff. It's probably time that I start building up another pair, but I don't know. Yeah, there's another kid I'm friends with that was getting into rawhide and stuff, and pretty well self-taught, just asking around for help and everything, but for the most part self-taught, and he's making do with everything he's made and everything. But
the more you do it, the better it gets.
Well, that actually is traditional cowboy art, because these guys would set out at camp and build what they could with what they had, or it was family known traditions. If you go back into like the expansion of Western civilization and you learn about tribes of people in history, you find out that the Germans were silversmiths, and that's been passed on in families. They were woodcrafters. It's been passed on. Bladesmiths, Celts were bladesmiths, and you learn this about people, and those same types of bloodlines run in the cowboy folks, and what's really cool is right now in our economy, a lot of people can't afford anything. And what is one of the number one things any good cowboy has under his belt? He can trade. And everybody should come to Elko this year, not with the expectation to make a fistful of dollars off fancy shit, but be able to trade into the shit they need.
Well, and also just meet some people that might make something that you can use later on down the road. You might not have the money for it that time, but you can be like, hey, put me on your list.
Yep, there you go. Making connections with real people. I think it's
almost
cool.
like they left the bar unlocked.
Because there's a lot of those guys. They'll tell you like, hey, I'm so many weeks out or whatever.
They don't want to use
go ahead.
Elko.
Yeah, but there's a lot of those guys that say that they'll be like, I'm 6 weeks out. What, I don't know, slip them $100 and say, put me in line. 6 weeks comes up, you don't got the money. They'll give you your money back and be like, hey, move on, whatever. But like you might be able to, you might be able to meet somebody that make you the saddle that you want for a lot cheaper than what you think you're gonna get just by talking to them.
Yeah, I think the door's wide open for new folks to come over.
Yeah, I think so.
If they're gonna leave the door open and not show up, we might as well.
So and guess what? The U.S. dollar is going to collapse at some point. So you better know how to trade when that happens.
Luckily, I've never had a lot of dollars, so.
Yeah, right.
What? So, anyways.
Yeah, no, I think that's cool. Let's try to set something up. We'll I think we're gonna stay at the Stockmans. I know they got that like upstairs deal where it's just kind of like a meeting area. I bet you we could set some shit up in there.
Yeah, if there was the only thing I saw last year was some braiders. And it was up there.
Yeah, and if they're gonna charge, a fee to rent it out, just let's split up that fee, and everybody that wants to throw shit up there, we'll just take take the change in your pocket, throw it in the can at the door. It's going to help us pay the rent on this room for the weekend.
Yep.
It's not an entry fee like, oh, you got to give $5 or this or that. Just whatever you got in your wallet. Somebody's going to come in and say, well, I got $100. We're going to pay for this all $500. We're going to pay for it all right now for these folks, because we're just so glad they're doing it. There's really sweet people that do that. Our local town, a store in our local town needed an air compressor, and 2 people got together and funded the entire thing because the air compressor town needs. There are very there's benefactors out there that are just going to be glad that this thing is still happening, and I think that there will be ways of getting the funds we need for those places. But my gut instinct is they're going to be so happy that we're bringing in crowds to patron their stores and such, that they're going to be lenient on what they're going to need for us to set up there. But we need a name for this, because it's no longer the Elko Cowboy Poetry Gathering. Fuck that shit. We need a new name for this deal here. What are we going to call it?
Out on you.
Oh,
and me already.
I'm sure I have several hits already out on me. What are we going to call it? What are we going to call it, Tyler? Come on, answer now.
I don't know, but it has to be a good name. I'm like trying to think what could be a good
Cowboy shit weekend, Matt says.
Yeah.
I would go for that. If I seen that on a poster, I would be totally 100% interested.
Nice. Right. See, we need the advice of the youth to let us know, how do we proceed in this. So
we'll just we'll make a flyer, and all it says is punch cows, burn daylight, Elko, Nevada.
Woo!
Yeah.
Perfect. Short, sweet, to the point. That's exactly the only things I need to know.
Punch cows, burn daylight.
Let's I'm going to make some calls. I don't know if I've kind of booked up this weekend, but next week I'm going to make some calls and talk to the Chamber of Commerce and such, and find out, what businesses are crying out for, this to continue to happen. I'm going to talk to those business owners and say, what do you think? Can we do it? What do you need? And if they say yes, we should put their name on the poster, designate them to something. This is the place that you're going to see silver. This is the place you're going to see leather. And then tell people to contact them directly to take their items there. It's a first come, first serve space issue. So
I like that. See if Capriola's wants to get involved. See if a couple of these other places want to get involved. And I like it.
Give you something to do.
I always have to have someone else's project to believe in.
There you go. Well, shit. If Folk Life Center's not going to do it, we can.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how else to look at it.
Well, they just.
Well, at this point, they've missed 2 years in a row, so, and we're going 2 years in a row, so we're more of a thing than they are.
Well, they stepped down from the throne. Somebody's got to sit on it. So.
Well, let's do it. Let's set up something. I think that'll be awesome.
Well, if we get a digital flyer, then we can pass it to folks like Tyler and just start circulating that on Instagram, start circulating on Facebook, let people know, get the word out.
We could get all sorts of Utah and even Idaho going over there.
Oh yeah.
That's lots and lots of kids from Utah and Idaho could, see the word and get over there.
Awesome. That's very inspiring. And like Matt said, we should have a dance.
Yeah, I know they usually have a dance. They bring people out. A dance would be a good idea.
Sam McHugh. Get Sam McHugh to rock the shit out of that thing.
Yeah, Sam's gonna be there, so
bring his boys.
He'd put on a good show or dance. Yeah.
Put on a dance.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
There's just
I bet you he'd do it. So much going on. So much going on.
I've got my Hilton dog, and I've just got so many ideas. All I need to be wearing is my mustache right now.
And Tyler, this is why these are two of my favorite people on earth.
I can see why. I want to be best friends with these two now.
It doesn't take much, tell you the truth.
We're needy.
We're usually sitting around, so it's like, I'll be your friend.
Thank you, Tyler.
Well, I'm gonna put out some feelers, see if anybody wants to donate some stuff for a raffle or an auction.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I said, we got an auctioneer in Battle Mountain he's gonna be at the show anyways. So if we got some stuff to do a live auction, which is only gonna work if we got a lot of people there. I mean, we could.
Yeah.
I guess we could do like an Instagram live, but boy, that'd be tough doing bidding with that. I'd rather it just be a live auction.
Me too.
But
Yeah.
like I said, we're gonna need people there if we're gonna do an actual auction. So
We got 2 months.
Yeah. So if we got to get flyers out in the town of Elko and in the newspapers and things like that by the first.
I wonder.
yeah, and I know the venue's stoked to have us back. So we were I had to wait on confirmation for them, but they're stoked for us. I told them that we'd get them some flyers, and so we'll be able to get shit circulated there, and then then it just take to the World Wide Web.
Heck yeah.
And get in lots of trouble.
Right. But like you were saying before, like cowboys make stuff because they need stuff. I started this podcast because nobody was talking cowboy shit. Like there was cowboy podcasts, but they weren't talking cowboy shit. They were talking horse training or whatever, but they weren't talking like cowboy horse training. Like there wasn't any of that. Like, yeah, but there's this one prick that I had to go to tuning on or something. No, it's always just real prim, proper, boring bullshit. And cowboy shit is not boring.
No.
No.
So like you just like if you got an idea, run with it.
Yeah, well, I think part of the excitement of life is, that whole, I hate to use the word diversity, but I'll use it as a
Diversity.
Yes. But really, I mean, I was just thinking today,
I think you got to close your eyes when you say diversity to make it. Diversity.
Or like the diversity.
Yeah, like you gotta have a wine glass or something. Diversity.
There you go. But really, like especially when it comes to horses, like you got to have a toolbox filled with shit, and not every method is going to work for every horse. It's not a textbook program. They're all different. They all have different issues. And
now you've took off on that.
Well, but I'm saying that the thing about the real cowboy show that you're doing is that in that one statement alone, talking about horses, is that you can fluff it up all day, and that prescription does work for some, but when you get into real people and real situations, that's when it really gets interesting, and you can't always use those methods, and it isn't pretty, and sometimes you abuse, sometimes you get abused. It's a hard knock life. It's like, my bandana, or is it red? I don't know. Never mind.
No, I think that's right though, and and it's kind of like the whole like clinician debate. Like I've not met many or most of the clinicians that I've met are sure enough handy as shit. It's always like the people that follow them that piss me off. Like
no.
But it's also like I don't know. I want to hear, like you said, real. Like I don't want to hear any like bullshit method, blah 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 blah. No, like I got a problem horse. What would you do in this situation? And like tell me, like no holds barred. Like, are you gonna whip that sucker in the dick, or are you gonna act nice to him, or are you gonna lay him down? What are you gonna do? Like I want to know that. And so I don't know, like that's the shit that I wanted with a podcast. Is like I listened to a ton of podcasts, but there's nothing like really cowboy. Like there's plenty of them that say cowboy, but they're trying to reach a wider audience. I'm not. I want to. if the guy that's out there punching cows all day long listens and says, "Hey, that was a good episode today. I did a good job."
Right. Yeah, I get that. You know, when I was an actress and a model when I met Matt, and I had the hugest crush on John Wayne, but you know, my dad was a hay broker. I fell off my horses because, you know, I didn't get riding lessons. I got this half Arab piece of crap that liked to butt the minute you put a saddle on it. You know, I mean, I wanted so bad to be part of the cowboy crowd when I was going to high school, but you know, and high school was it was great fun, you know, but I never really fit in because I was too theatrical. I couldn't handle my chew. I to this day have never been invited to a kegger. You know, so I am.
Are we gonna have to throw a kegger in Elko just so you can be invited to your first one? Because I'll do it. I'll do it. That'll be the dance. The dance will just be a kegger with Sam McHugh.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Bonfire.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
You're not even allowed to bring your band, Sam. Just you. Just Sam. Not even a microphone. You don't even get a microphone guy. You're the entertainment for the kegger.
That's right. That would be fun.
That'd be a blast.
But yeah, I mean, I was one of those people that totally romanticized cowboying, and you know, when I saw him, there's no way I was going to let go of him. Holy smokes, he was the real deal. And I mean, within the first few months, I was pulling my hair out. I was like, oh my God, my ass has turned to leather. I'm rendered down to like 120 pounds, and I'm like 5'9". There's no water in the damn house. We're punching cows until the full moonlight. What the hell's romantic about this? You know, real life slapped me in the face, and I've earned every damn ounce of the hat I don't wear. But you know, I'm still not good at it. I'm not good at it. I'm not naturally instinctually good at that. But it's nice to be able to relate to people that are and really say, no, I've been there. I've lived without electricity and water. I've cooked at cow camp at 3 a.m. by firelight, and
if you ain't running cattle through the fence, you ain't doing shit.
I'm good at running cattle through the fence. So dog.
You ain't got shit running through the fence, you ain't doing shit. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Matt left us.
He
again.
Passed
out. I saw him.
He needs the stadium pal. We all know what he's doing. He's run around with his pants.
I know it. I got a small bladder. It's a thing. Oh, well, shit. We've been at it 2.5 hours.
Yeah, I'm about to eat.
One night.
Well, tell everybody where they can find you guys on social media or whatnot.
Tell them. Oh, Wampus Cat Sound. It sounds just like Wampus Cat Sound, like you say it. But yeah, on Instagram.
I'm the Desert Lily.
On Instagram.
But I don't do much on Instagram, so it's just Rachel Ann Wilson on Facebook.
YouTube.
Ranch Factor Television on YouTube.
It's a great channel. You guys need to put more shit on there.
It's happening next week, bro.
Stallion Man.
Yes. Let me know when you post, and I will blast it out.
I've got plans.
That is good to know. I will follow you guys on YouTube now. I don't post anything, but I sure like to get on there and watch.
Sounds good.
Stallion Manly.
We have Stallion.
He's the best.
He needs to come
Stallion
back.
Man is he's a paid regular at this point.
Maybe I'll be back.
Yeah, he should make a showing in Elko.
Yes.
That's a hell of an idea. I'll ask you if he can come.
Oh, should we do a sketch where Donald Trump is Stallion Manly's cow boss?
Oh.
Hey, it's not too late to get Gilbert Gottfried. He's not booked.
You know what? He's on Cameo. He's on Cameo. He does do cameos. He was on Joe Rogan's podcast the other day. That guy is awesome. Gilbert Gottfried has the most annoying voice of all time, but he is awesome. That guy is so funny.
I bet he'd come if we just pay him.
I bet so.
Cowboy experience, so he can land a show with what was that guy name just shot everyone in that western?
Oh, Alex Baldwin.
He can land it. You can.
With Alec Baldwin, yeah. Hell yeah.
Make a western about Alec Baldwin. He's a killer.
And it was a western too, as far as I know.
Too bad he was so good in Beetlejuice. Honestly,
yeah.
He was great in Beetlejuice. Yeah.
Well, that's the thing. He's a great actor. He's just a giant piece of shit as a human.
Yeah.
No balls. No balls. I'm sorry, Alec. I'm sorry. Didn't mean to hurt you in that. Are you going to hit me for apologizing?
No. I was just waiting to get a word in there.
Sorry. I'm a mutant noisemaker. Sorry.
Oh, perfect. Well, and on that note, folks, move your ass. We're burning daylight.
That's